Mr. Fish Comics. Sweet.
I'm working like work. I'm working. I'm working. Boy, quit sleeping. Let's get to the mission.
Oh!
What is up, everybody?
What is
Man.
happening? It is that special day of the week where grown men sit in front of their computers and they talk about comics, action figures, and all that fun stuff. It is FiveStar Fridays.
Absolutely. Best
And
time of the week.
you are here with myself, Mr. FiveStar, and the great one and only man of the hour. I can keep going.
Man about town. One of a kind.
Mr. Fish.
Indeed, indeed.
What is going on?
Comic maker extraordinaire.
Yes.
Drawer of pictures. Making a living off of drawing pictures of men in their underwear beating each other up.
Yes.
That is a heck of a job. I never thought that would be my full-time job.
He is living the dream. Fish, how was your week, buddy?
Man, it was good. I've been starting on an awesome new book for Barry Gregory at Kablam. I'm really excited about this one. He had an idea in store for me, and then we got to talk, and he's like, oh, and he got ideas and wrote a whole new story just for me for this. And, dude, it is awesome. I mean, it's pulling in some crazy old, wild, old public domain characters, and man, it's got time travel and futuristic and monsters and aliens and oh, it is so much fun, man. It is so much fun. I'm so excited about this one.
I'm excited about it too because once you finish, you're one step closer to FiveStar.
Yeah, I know that's what you're excited about. You're ready for me to get done with this one so that we can move on to that one. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Yeah. No, I mean, of course, I'm excited about any Fish Lead titles that come out. So. But I can't lie and say that I wouldn't be, excited to have FiveStar 4 started. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I'm looking forward to that too. I'm excited about that one too because it has been too long since the last FiveStar.
Over a year.
Yeah,
sad.
It has been a minute, and it is time to get it done. I know the people are dying. They've been waiting for it. They've been protesting in the city streets saying, where's our next FiveStar?
It's true. All right, guys and gals. So we don't have a guest for today because we wanted to do something a little different. A little different. Fish is drawing some cool stuff, some promotional stuff for us in the background. I can put that onto the screen here. You guys can watch him work. He's working on something that is super fun. I think you guys are going to enjoy. And we're doing like a question answer type deal, and we'll fill it with just us talking, rambling about nonsense if we have to, but it's okay because
I can ramble. You want to ramble? I can ramble.
We can ramble.
Oh man, can I ramble?
So he's gonna be working on that. We kind of want to hear some feedback from you guys. Let us know. Certain things that you might want to see us do here on FiveStar Fridays because we want to know. We want to hear. We want to hear from you guys what we might be able to do to make the show more enjoyable to you guys. And that's what we got. Fish, should we tell them what you're drawing or should we just let you do it?
Oh, man, I got no beef telling them what I'm working on. Tony's been talking since I first came on the show as a guest that we needed to do him some promotional art with the Mr. FiveStar character that I drew for him. And then I came on and he's like, oh man, we got to do something, that has both of us on there. And so I decided that we're going to do an image here of Mr. FiveStar jumping off this building over here and then the mountainous Mr. Fish in the background. Because being a giant myself, I've always kind of had a soft spot for the giant characters, like Giant Man and what was that kid in Legion of Superheroes? The one that was just Oh, dude, I I had him in a comic book like before I could read as a kid, and I
Yeah.
fell in love with him and just absolutely loved him. And that kind of started my love for the giant characters. That, and I've always been like, you know, a Godzilla fan and stuff as a kid. And so it
Right.
just all, and, you know, I'm nearly 6.5 feet tall. So,
Which I thought was funny, to have because of I'm 5'5", so there's a quite a height difference there. So we thought it
yeah.
would be funny to
It's
highlight
hard to
that.
tell on screen, but there's quite
Yeah,
a height difference.
there's a height difference there. So yeah, we're doing some Fish is doing some promotional stuff. We thought that would be fun. It's going to use it as our new backdrop, and I'm excited to see what it turns out. I'm geeked to see it happen. Speaking of giants, I'm gonna take the screen off for just a second, Fish. While you're working on that, we'll pop back in for a
That's
little
fine. That's fine.
toy news. Today, Hasbro dropped a big bomb on us today
Dude.
with their new HasLab project. Boom, Galactus.
That is crazy. Like when you
Whoa.
first showed me that, I was like, "Oh, that's just a cool promotional image of Galactus." I was like, "There's no way that
Right.
is an actual figure."
And then I'm like,
That's
yo, Fish, nah, bro,
crazy.
check it. That's the foot. Now, for those of you who aren't Marvel Legends collectors, Mr. Fantastic right there is a 6-inch figure.
So this is no slouch of a doll. Now,
No.
admittedly, like, you know, the OCD detail guy in me was like, "Well, wait a minute, he's not actual size."
Yeah.
But to make him actual size compared to the rest of these like 6-inch figures, there's no way. You'd have to be taking out like a car payment to pay for this guy.
Right. And the
That's not gonna
space,
sell
the
well.
space would be crazy that you would
Mhm.
need to have it. So that's just the foot. They teased this yesterday. People was already like, "Oh yeah, okay, cool." And then boom, they hit us with this. Look at the size of that thing, bro. Oh, went too fast. Skipped over though. Look at the size of that thing.
Man, that is crazy.
Yeah,
That is
that's dope.
just nuts. And I mean, I'm super excited about it because I've always been dying and waiting for them to do characters like this at a large scale. I mean, like
Yeah.
we've seen them make like really crappy giant figures of like Darth Vader and stuff at Christmas time that comes out
Mm-hmm.
with like 3 points of articulation. But
Right.
like to see a really cool figure come out like that is really awesome. You know, if I was the hardcore toy collector that I almost became, this would be a have to have for me. You know,
Yeah, Williams in the comments. He said he's jumping ahead, and William, I like that. I like that name, man. The clapback kid. I might have to. I might have to keep with that. I might have to add that into my intro, Mr. 5-Star, aka the clapback kid. That might be a new thing. I'm kind of digging that. You're jumping ahead with the price point. I was gonna say that at the end, but I'll say it now since you commented. This bad boy is $400 officially.
yeah,
That's steep.
that's pricey.
That's
That is
steep.
pricey. I gotta admit. Now, you know, like I said, if I was the collector that I started out to be for a hot minute there, I would be saving up right now to get that.
Now,
But,
Fish,
you
how
know,
how frustrating is this? Look at this. LED lights in the head and the chest. That's dope. You're telling me for $400, the 4 AAA batteries aren't included?
that's crappy. Okay, the only thing I could see it being an issue is like thinking through, you know, from a businessman standpoint, you could potentially have batteries in this box for a year or two before, you know, and they could potentially leak at some point and cause damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you should at least get like a coupon or something
So,
that can get you a free set of
I just
batteries
dropped
shipped
I
to
just
you from
dropped
Duracell.
$400 on an action figure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can I get the batteries? I mean,
Mhm.
come on. Let's get it. Oh, Justin Hall says, I agree. I feel like there's only certain characters that justify this size. Galactus definitely fits this for sure. This is one of those characters you're like, but man, for me, like I would love a giant like Megatron or like Optimus Prime that was up there too. I think they need to think about that because I would love that. But as far as Marvel goes, last year they did the Sentinels. Them sold like crazy. This, I think people kind of knew like this was eventually going to have to come down the pipeline.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I want to see, I'll be really excited when I see the real Galactus in a movie. Like, that's
Yeah.
what I'm dying for.
Yeah.
Not some cop out cloud nonsense, but, actual, giant eye hunger Galactus.
Right.
Like, that is what I'm dying to see.
I love how the head, like they've got the eyes lighting up with those LED lights, the chest plates lighting up, the helmets lighting up. I mean, it does a lot for.
Mhm.
And then we keep going. 32 inches tall. That's
That's a good size. That is almost 3 feet tall.
right.
Why they didn't just go ahead and do 3 feet, I don't know. Because to me, if he's already out of scale, like he's not
Right.
8 feet tall or whatever he'd have to be in the right scale with the 6-inch figures, then you might as well make him a nice round 36. I wonder if it has to do with like boxes and shipping and stuff.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm curious.
70 points of articulation. Now, I'm used to figures this big not having that much articulation. 70 plus
Oh, yeah.
points of articulation, that's beastie.
Mm-hmm.
William also said it's on a Kickstarter, so that's right. Anything HasLab does, it's a Kickstarter. So what's even cooler about that is the more they raise, the more you'll get with this figure because they unlock stretch goals as well. So you'll get more bang for your buck.
See, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Michael Watson says we do not need this figure at all. Michael's hating on it. He's hating on the Galactus.
Well, just
figure.
because he's waiting for the Fast and Furious figures to come out, where you push a little button on the boat. Oh, we need his family. Like that's what he's waiting on.
Yeah,
he's gonna keep waiting, but it's gonna be all right. No hard feelings, Mike.
So yeah, like with the Sentinel, I know they unlocked a few different like there was a few different stretch goals that came out that people got on top of buying this. So that's something to look forward to as well. Seeing what Michael Watson said exactly. 20 points of articulation in each hand. Now that might be a little extreme.
I'm like, that almost seems like too much. Like, what are you? Oh, the $400 price doesn't include shipping.
Dang.
Oh,
4 batteries.
dang.
But maybe if you want your Galactus like sipping on something, you can put the pinky out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and like, I guess when his hand's that big, like being able to spread your fingers out away from each other as opposed to just being able to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I get that, but still, man, that is a lot of articulation.
Yeah, they wanted to be able to, you can hold multiple figures. He can hold other Marvel Legends for you in your collection. There it is, guys. Look at that. Man, crowdfund runs from July 16th to August 30th. Only on Hasbro Pulse. $400. 400 smackaroos for that bad boy. I'm wondering if it's going to weigh a ton. Like, could you, like, kill a burglar with it if they jumped in your house? Like, if you picked it up and hit somebody on the head with it, is it that heavy? Or
I'm thinking all those points of articulation are going to come loose.
Right.
20 pieces of finger are going to come flying out.
Right. So that is a big price point. Like I said, though, if it's something
I see what Justin Hall is saying here in the comments is the hard part is you'd want to see and feel it in person for that kind of price. And yeah, if I'm going to shell out $400 for a toy, I would want to make sure that it's not some cheap, dinky plastic thing. Like, I've paid $80 for some of these artist model figures, and like they are so delicate and flimsy. Some of them are made for the same price, it just falls apart. Like the first time I carefully tried to move the arm, I snapped it off of one of my guy figures just automatically.
William said if we're getting another stimmy check next month, maybe. Hey,
Yeah.
maybe that's why they sold all them Sentinels. I don't know if I'm pretty sure we had one when they was running that one. I'm not sure.
Oh
but
man, I stayed busy with those stimulus checks. Man, everybody I knew was sending their stimulus check to me to get more artwork. And
I mean, they are running that tax credit right now, so some people are getting that tax credit right now. So they might just be like, well, I'm getting this extra money for my kids, but my kids want to see this Galactus on my shelf, so let me go ahead and get
that's what
that.
little Susie really wants. Is she wants a Galactus?
Yeah, she wants that Galactus on her shelf for she can see just.
She doesn't get to play with, but she'll get to inherit it when I die.
Right, she'll get to see the joy in her father's eyes or mother's eyes every time they look at it and pose its 20 points
She
of
certainly needs that more than like saving for college.
Right.
Nah.
They'll just love watching me point each finger out and.
She didn't really have a future anyway. She can go to trade school or something. She'll be fine.
Right. Yeah. So let's get back to the art. Let me see. Let me see that. Oh,
okay. There we got Mr. FiveStar coming along, jumping off the building.
Look at that beautiful hair and that hard part in there. You know. I mean, I love that. Killing it.
Got to keep it all right. Keep it all tight and fresh.
Gotta keep it. Yeah, I love it, bro. You're killing it. But yeah, man, I would love to. I'm an action figure guy. Everybody knows that, but I'm passing on this. I'm not getting it. $400 for one figure. I just can't. I can't do it.
I can understand that. I mean that's a big commitment for one figure.
Now, have I dropped $400 on something before? Yes, but that was the
Your
Millennium.
wife is gone, right?
Yes.
Like she's not around the corner.
Matter of fact, though, fish, she dropped $400
really
on the Millennium Falcon for me. And that thing is huge. You guys have seen it in the vintage collection. It's gigantic. It holds all the figures in it. I mean, it is. But that's my favorite ship, hands down. Favorite fictional vehicle. Han Solo is my favorite Star Wars character. I love the Millennium Falcon, so that was a big deal for me. I even got I got the dice from the Solo movie hanging in my van. Because my van's gray, and I'm like, yo, it's a hunk of junk, but it's my hunk of junk. And so, yeah, I did spend $400 on that. But with this, it's a pass for me. I can't. It's not something I get. Plus, shelf space is a thing. When you're speaking about 32 inches of action figure.
Oh, man, that is a thing.
Yeah.
That is an issue. Like, I love sculpting. Like, sculpting is honestly one of my first true loves. But sculptures take up a whole lot more room than flat drawings do. Drawings stack flat. Now they all save on a hard drive the size of my thumb. And, sculptures take up a lot of space, especially when you get to doing the big stuff that I really want to do. And, where am I going to put 8-foot tall sculptures,
right.
and stuff. So I focused more on doing this because this is easier to store and whatnot, and it just there's a practicality to it, and they take up space.
Look at that luscious beard.
Oh yeah, you got to have the beard. That's where all the power comes from.
Right.
To make you mighty.
Hopefully you don't shed at that size because those hairs on the ground below would probably do some damage.
Be like big curly twist of barbed wire falling down. They'd probably crush a cop car. That needs to be a story there.
Yeah,
just
nobody ever talks about that.
Crew that has to come get all this mess out, all this big gray barbed wire that I left all over town after saving the day.
Justin said that's a beard club beard. That is a beard club beard. Fish does have a beard club beard.
I mean, it's long. Like I was on this TV show at one point where they were filming about people with different neurological disorders and stuff. And for those that don't know, I have Tourette syndrome, and they're like, "Man, we have to keep adjusting the camera to fit your beard in because." And I'm like, "It doesn't seem that long to me, but like, it is about a fist longer than my face."
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. I'm excited about this piece, bro. I literally, like he said, have been talking about this. I've been like that little bug in his ear, like that little gnat at a barbecue. Like, you know what?
And
would
I
be
just
cool,
figured, I was
Fish?
like, I'm going to do it at one point, but I figured we might as well wait and
Yeah.
do it on the show and make it something that, people could watch and, maybe get a kick out of.
Yeah. So next week, or actually tomorrow, we are. So tomorrow, me and Fish are a part of another podcast.
We are? Oh, I
think.
forgot.
Did you forget, Fish?
No, I did forget when you started mentioning it. And I was like, oh yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Right. Yeah. So we'll be and they'll promote that, and once they put the official promo out, we'll share that. We do got to get up early for that though, Fish. We got to get up. They're getting us up on the early tip.
Well,
Saturday
you got to
morning.
get up early. I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna be up for a long time by that point because I get up at like 6 o'clock here. So
yeah. So I'll have to get up early.
Yeah.
Well, Fish, I like to get my beauty sleep, but you don't get this beautiful.
Well, and it shows. I mean, you see how I look. You see these bags and stuff up under here. I'm rough looking, but that's because I'm an old man. I get up at the butt crack of dawn now. But
do you get up to read the paper? Do you like have a cup of coffee in your newspaper and you look at the weather and say,
it's funny. I never thought I'd be that dude. I get up every morning. I really don't like hot coffee that much, but now I make iced coffee for myself in the morning. I get up, I have my iced coffee, I watch the news, I scroll Facebook, I look at messages and stuff that I need to return, and I just like to spend time getting my head together.
Well, you are a grandpa, so
absolutely, I am.
Yeah,
like I'm fixing to be a grandpa for the third time here shortly.
William said, I don't know if he's talking about me or if he's talking about you, but you obviously don't get enough sleep. I think that was a dig at me, Will. And
yeah, I think that's a dig on you with the beauty sleep.
That hurts. That hurts, Will.
Indeed.
That hurts. Justin said you should do some kind of time lapse on one of your projects. Well, Justin,
I should have started the time lapse on this already. I forgot. And it's got this awesome feature where you just click on it and it saves the time lapse for you. And I forgot to hit that when I started, but I'll have it from this point on out. So,
And if you go to Justin, if you find Fish on TikTok, he does tons of time lapses on there. So it's definitely worth checking out if you have TikTok. If not, you usually share them on Facebook and in the group, don't you?
Oh, well, yeah, I share them in the group sometimes. I don't want to just spam the group because I share like 3 posts a day from TikTok. And
you should spam the group.
And so many of the people that are in the group are in like other groups with me and follow my page and stuff. And I don't want to just be like, you said the same video with my obnoxious voice coming across like 6 times as you're scrolling Facebook. But, it's all about getting the name out there. And honestly, like I started the whole TikTok thing to try and help other artists because I see especially a lot of the little guys that want to get started doing this and they want to make a living at this. It is absolutely possible to make a living doing this, and it's possible to make a living doing this without ever going to Marvel and DC and Image. Like you can make a living in indie comics. It takes a whole lot of hustle, it takes a whole lot of hard work, It takes a whole lot of being honest with yourself and being able to take criticism, being able to work with clients, not make some of the same mistakes that a lot of people make over and over again, like getting paid and spending the money before the job's done. I did like 15
Don't
videos.
spend
I'm not
the
spending
money.
the money
Don't spend the
because
money.
it's such a big deal and it messes so many people up. I see so many artists that are so talented, but their reputation is trash because they take commissions and then they blew the money. You know, things happen. You went out shopping, took your girlfriend out to eat, whatever, and maybe you got sick and you got a couple of days behind. Now you need money to pay the rent, so you're taking new commissions to get that money to pay the rent, but you haven't finished the old ones. And now it's been a year and you've got old commissions that you're freaking out about, that you're scared to even touch because you've been ghosting them for so long, but you're advertising for more commissions while their work's not done. You're posting pictures of jobs you finished while their job's not done. It ruins your reputation.
Fish, yeah. Have you ever seen Wedding Crashers?
Yeah.
You know that part where there's a part where Vince Vaughn and he's explaining how awkward dating is, and I just got that vibe from you just now when he's like, do you know? I'm thinking this, she's thinking that. Do I give her the? Do I go in for the hug? Do I go out for the hug? Like that's the vibe I just got from you right now. That's why I chuckled a little bit. I'm gonna hit these comments real quick. We got William. He said that was to me. William, I'm beautiful, and you can't tell me different. Brad, how has luck treat you yesterday? Tony K, are you man? I'm not rich. I did go to the casino last night on a whim. My wife and uncle and auntie wanted to go to the casino after dinner, so I went out there, and I don't usually play at the casino because I always lose, and guess what? I did lose. So no, we're not rich and famous. I didn't steal fish away to do.
Everybody loses. That's how they make their money.
Right. So I did sip on a free beverage though, so I guess that was worth it. J-Man, what's up? So J-Man wants me to get a shirt that says five-time comics champion TK. He wants to do the old Booker T reference in wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, you'll know what that's from. 5 times comic book champion, Mr. 5-Star. Maybe I can get a shirt that says that. I don't know if anybody would wear it but me, but maybe I could get one that says that. What's up, J-Man? How are you doing? Justin said that was my next question. Also, I'm going to have to find him. Yeah, find Fish. He does the time lapse. And I like how you give a little story while you're doing the time lapse.
Oh, yeah. And I like to talk about like how I came up with the character, or maybe it's a commission for somebody. I like talking up their projects and their Kickstarters and whatnot. And, anything I can do to help a client out is only going to help me out more. If they know coming to me, got 6 more people to come to their Kickstarter because I shared a video of it, then, hey, maybe they'll come to me again. And that's what I'm all about. Anything I can do that's going to get them to come back and see a lot of value and coming to Mr. Fishy, I am all about that.
Andrew or Ryan Robinson, what's up? Andrew said, is Danny J. Quick still coming on FiveStar Fridays today? No, he's not, because he's not scheduled for tonight. He's scheduled for next Friday, but I promoted it for tonight because I got confused, and I skipped the whole weekend because I was thinking about next weekend when Danny J. Quick comes on, but Danny J. Quick is not coming on this Friday. He's coming on next Friday. So there's that. Everybody get that?
That's cool. Totally our fault.
That was our fault. It's more or less my fault. It's not even Fish's fault.
I'm just trying to be nice and share with you.
No,
but it's a scheduling mistake on our end. But it happens.
Yeah,
it's not the end of the world, and
it's all good.
We've always got some interesting stuff. And
if it wouldn't have got mixed up, we wouldn't be able to see this fire piece that he's drawing right now. So it's cool.
Drawing a giant picture of myself.
Yeah. I love it. I like the intensity that you got going right there. Just imagine, when you yell, like you might spit. Just imagine those spit drops coming down on the people below.
Woo!
Man.
That'd be flooding some people out right there.
J-Man says, oops, my spell check screwed up. I meant to say 5-star, 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 5-star comics champion. All right, J-Man. Who knows? Maybe I can get that shirt. If I get it, you got to buy it, though. If I get it made, you got to be the first one to buy it. Justin says, can we get a link for Mr. Fish's TikTok? Is it literally just Mr. Fish, at Mr. Fish on TikTok?
Yeah, it is Mr.Fish.comics on TikTok.
Mr.
Because
Fish.
Go figure, Mr. Fish Comics was already taken.
But we can leave that in the comments too. We can comment back on there and add
Absolutely.
that in.
I kind of got my hands full at the second, but I can come back and drop it in there. I've got it saved in my phone so I can copy and paste it when I need to.
And Will said Mr. Fish is awesome on TikTok. Lots of info. Even though I'm a writer, not an artist. Hey, it applies to everybody. One of the biggest things, Fish highlights is reputation. And you can't go wrong anywhere with reputation, whether you're a writer, artist, promoter, producer, anything like that. Your reputation is gold. You always want to hang on to it and cherish it and protect it. So a lot of his stuff, even if he's talking about artists, it applies to everybody in comics, especially even with the Kickstarter. Don't spend the money. That applies in the same thing. You get that Kickstarter money sent to your bank account, and then you're like, oh, well,
I'm rich. No, you're not rich. You got a job to do. Yeah. And you got a whole lot of clients that are waiting on that. And that needs to be handled correctly and professionally, or you will ruin your reputation. And then you're going to wonder why I had so many people back my last Kickstarter that took 6 years to get fulfilled, and what all. I wonder why they didn't back my new one.
Right.
Because it took 6 years to get
Don't spend the money.
Oh, man, I have been waiting on this one Kickstarter for a few years now, and I talk about it all the time. And I'm anxious. I'm a big fan of this creator, and I have followed him from the first indie book that I saw him work on, and I love his work. I love his stories. I have been waiting a couple of years now, and every 6 months he'll post a new picture. Oh, yeah, I'm working on the book now full time. It's going to be out in a few months. It's still not out. I still don't have it.
Still not there. My homie Flame said, that's some nice work. Very detailed. Thank you, sir. I'm thanking you for Fish. I don't know why I said thank you like it was mine, but thanks.
I appreciate you helping me out on that.
Yeah. Fish says thank you. Andrew, I didn't skip over your comment either, bro. Andrew is, this is somebody who watches every episode. And Andrew said, Will we be getting some giveaway goodness this week? Y'all promised 2 giveaways this week because y'all forgot to give something last week. Fish, he's holding us to that.
Yeah, he is. And that's what you get for getting somebody that watches all the time.
He is holding us to it. So
now
it sounds like
we've got copies of our books that we can give away easily.
Easy.
And I tell you what, I will throw in a character drawing. I'll throw in a character drawing as the second prize. How about that?
Ooh.
We'll do that. But who are we going to give it away to? Because we've been doing it on the people that share the videos, but we're not getting a whole lot of people sharing the videos.
That's the thing. You guys aren't sharing. I mean, there's a few people sharing the videos, and for that, we appreciate you guys. And I guess you guys would just technically be the winners. I don't know if we did a stipulation for the 2 giveaways for this week, which I don't think we did.
No,
so how about
we just said we do too.
Let's make it interesting. Well, how can we do that? Throughout the show, this show right here, right now, comment a number between 1 and 10. Right? No, hold on. How do I want to do this, Fish? Help me out. I can't think right now. I'm under the pressure.
I don't know. I think
Andrew's breathing down my neck.
I definitely think we need to do it out of the people that are watching and the people that are commenting.
Yeah. Raffle. That's what I'm thinking. A raffle. So here's what we're gonna do. Just comment that you want to be in the raffle. Something like I put me in the raffle or what do you think, Fish? How should we do it?
Just me. Just write me
Me.
in it, and we'll count up everybody that comments me that they want to be in on it.
And we'll give away
We'll
a package that has my
number.
book and Mr. Fish's book in it, digitals, and he'll give away
a free character drawing.
Character drawings,
Be
man.
anything you want. It could be you. It could be one of your own characters. It could be, I mean, I never do stuff of like, Spider-Man or anything like that, but I can do it.
If you want to do, if you want to do that, we can, and we'll send you the digitals. There should be a way to do this on StreamYard. Moana does giveaway wheels through comments on their streams for giveaways. If there is a way, Andrew, I'm not sure how to do it. I'll have to ask her about that. So far, we have 4 people in. So we got 4 people in so far. 4 people who said they want to be part of this giveaway. That's pretty good odds. I mean, are we doing separate? Are we doing the comics as one and the drawing as the other?
No, I think we need to do it as one.
We're lumping it up.
Yeah. So because that way one person is getting a really awesome prize and makes up for the fact that we didn't have something awesome to give away last time. And
man, look at that fresh cut, bro. You doing me right. Mr. 5-Star in the building.
Y'all want a piece of advice as an artist or, anybody running their own business is listen to your clients because they're going to tell you the stuff that's important to them. And, like I've heard Tony talk about his hair. I've heard Tony talk about 5-Star's hair. And I took that seriously. And okay, this is something that really matters to him. And, while I might go around looking like a hobo, that means something to Tony. And so I'm going to make sure that hair is tight and nice and looking good.
And it's always one of the first things I compliment, ain't it, Fish? I always say, bro, I love the way you did 5-Star's hair. Bro, I love the way you did Mr. 5-Star hair. We actually got a barber in the comments right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yep, my homie Flame, who's on here, he said y'all need a barber in your collection. In the collection, hey, you're right, bro. Michael did his art. Actually, did the art for his logo. We can probably post that in the group. He did. He wanted like a comic book themed version of himself for his logo, and it turned out really, really dope. We gave him like he approached me, and I got him hooked up with Mike, and we kind of all 3 worked on it on the creative end of it, and we did like a Magneto type theme with him holding the clippers and the scissors, and it came out really, really dope. Instead of like a regular cape, he's got like a barber cape on him, and he's like standing over his logo, and it turned out super dope, super dope.
Cool.
So we're actually one thing that I want to do is because people actually comment to me all the time like I love the way 5-Star's hair looks in his books. I'm gonna do a variant cover either for issue 4 or maybe issue 5 because I really want to do a whole bunch of stuff for issue 5 just because why wouldn't you do a bunch of stuff for the 5th issue of 5-Star? You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So I want to hype up issue 5, and I want to do a variant cover of him in the barber chair because it is a big part. Shout out to Lonzo for that idea too. Lonzo Star was on here a few weeks back. He's another comic book creator if you didn't know, and currently running a Kickstarter as well for the Acolyte. So check out Lonzo Star and his Kickstarter. Back it if you can. But yeah, so we want to do. He gave me the idea, like you should do one of him sitting in a chair, a variant cover. So that's something that we're definitely going to do because I like the idea because I am passionate about making sure 5-star hair and lineup is on point. Just like I have mine used. That's why I'm wearing the hat today, because it's not quite on point. So I've got the hat on today. But I usually like that hard part in there. Keep it fresh. Never fugazi. Let's see. Andrew Duggan. Is 5 stars based under the barbershop? Like how Black Lightning is under the clothing store? No, it ain't under that. See, the cool thing is when you like 5-star and you can fly at super speeds, it is nothing to fly to the hometown barber. It's nothing to pop. We don't get to see that. Have we ever seen that with Superman?
Superman has to cut his own hair.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
nothing can cut through his hair.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess I didn't.
So he has to zap it with a laser and, in the mirror.
He's got kryptonite clippers. It's like
They've shown it a couple of times.
I thought I've seen something like that where, now that you say that, where he's done that. Mm-hmm. Even like when he's shaving his beard too, right? Like, yeah, they have shown.
Oh yeah, he'll cut his beard with his heat vision and stuff.
But Andrew, to answer your question of how I'm going to do it, is I'm just going to give each one of you a number, and there's like generators on your phone to where you can just it'll pick a number for you out of the numbers that you put in. You can set the limits to it. So if it's like 1 through 4, I can set that. It'll randomly pick one of those numbers, and so that's probably how we'll do it. Yeah, my dude Flame said kryptonite clippers. Yeah, man. Gotta have them kryptonite clippers to get that. If we ever see Superman come with like that fresh, tapered lineup look,
like
he'd have to have
and all that. Yeah,
Superman faded up. He'd have to have the kryptonite clippers. Hey, you can trademark that. Go ahead and trademark that, bro. Get them kryptonite clippers. Fish, killing it, bro. It's amazing just to watch you do this, bro.
I never thought all the weird things that I've done in my life and that I know how to do would pay off so well, but they pay off so good in drawing comics because, like, all that useless time that I spent shooting a bow and arrow comes in so handy when you have to draw an archer and you actually know, like, how you have to hold it and what you have to do. And, it's just funny how all these random things play together and end up making me invaluable. And all that time I spent, breaking down, watching movies and what made a story interesting and, what made it fail, what made me care about the character. Now you turn around and I'm getting awesome compliments from people that I really respect, saying, man, your storytelling is awesome. And that, to me, that is a huge deal because, like, yeah, you can say my art is great, and that's fine. I don't really pay that much attention because, everybody says your art's great. And, everybody's like, oh, man, your art's so good, I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. I'm like, well, then you're an idiot. But because it's designed to do that. But, like, when they say, hey, man, your storytelling was awesome, that really speaks a lot to me. Or, your background characters was another one of my favorite compliments I ever got, was your background characters felt so realistic.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you. That means a lot. Because, like, in my T-Man book, like, it's never explained why the one, the main character, Mia, has these two best friends that follow her around. And it's never explained why her one friend is always messing with her necklace, but I know why. Like, I gave them little mannerisms and things and, like, the way they hold their backpacks and all this stuff has a purpose to it because I thought out who these characters are. And, and for somebody to say, wow, those background characters were so interesting, that nearly made me cry right there.
It's definitely a different level when you can capture a fandom or capture people and they get so, entwined with like your main character, but like what you're saying, like the background characters, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's something different all in altogether. Like
Oh yeah,
that's a
and
different
like
level of writing. Like of course, people see Five Star and they see the suit design and they see the way he looks and they're like, "Yo, that's sick. I like that." Just off the visuals alone, they like the character.
mm-hmm.
Of course, there's people that who don't, but for the majority of people
They
that
can
I've
be
showed,
wrong. That's okay.
yeah, they're like, "Yo, that's sick. I love that." But when people have done it to me too, and I'm not even got that far into my story, I've had people say, "Man, I loved Agent D." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Who it doesn't, visually, it's nothing. She's nothing, it's nothing like spectacular. She's just a regular looking person, but they like the character, that she portrays. They like that her story so far and like what she adds to the book.
And
Um,
that she's a real genuine person and has a real personality,
right,
not just like a skinny bimbo with her boobs sticking out of her shirt or
right,
something.
right, right, right.
Like she's a legit person,
Yeah.
and you know and is interesting and beautiful and sexy and all that stuff. And I love her. She's one of my favorites too.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, man. And what's nice about that is she's based off a real person that I know, uh, who I actually, I ask her things like, hey, what would you say in this situation? How would you handle this situation? Or she reads over stuff to make sure that I'm capturing, you know,
Hmm.
her in the book.
Capturing the voice right of this character,
Yeah.
and that makes it a much more interesting character, and a much more real feeling character. And
Yeah.
that takes a lot of guts on your side too, to say, yeah, I'm going to base this on a real person, and I'm going to let them have that kind of control to say, oh, this is awesome, or no, wait a minute, that's not right, we need to redo that.
Right, right,
And
right.
that's brave, man.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Fish, and I'm glad that you get to be the person to capture the visuals on that.
Oh yeah, I love her. I just, like I said, she's one of my favorites. But
I think as
that's
creators, I think we all add little elements to things that apply to us personally in our everyday lives, like
oh, absolutely.
even just simple things like there's a Dr. William Andrews in the book and a Robert Marcello and the Commander Robert Marcello. Both of their first names are based off of my uncles. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Them are my uncle's first names, and uh, one of them's like a little more easygoing compared to the other, and like that plays onto like my relationship with them growing up. Like,
Well, and that's what makes a story interesting and makes it feel more real, is when you can pull real things from your real life and
yeah,
incorporate that in. And, that ends up becoming some of the most interesting stuff. Like, I don't remember what movie it was. It was some rom com. And the lady, a pigeon got into the house and got stuck on flypaper, and she felt bad. And so she was trying to take the bird to the vet to get it off the flypaper and stuff and save its life. And she hit a bump, and it jumped up, and she ended up walking into the vet with this bird glued to her head with this flypaper.
oh,
It sounds totally crazy, but that actually happened to one of the writer's friends. And they heard this story at
yeah,
a cocktail party, and that real story from real life got incorporated and made it this awesome scene in this movie. And that kind of stuff makes stories so much
yeah,
deeper.
for sure.
If you can play in to the realistic stuff that's going on with people and real emotions and stuff like that, it just, I was working on a story for a friend of mine, and it was one of the first things that I ever did in, like real comics. And I was
Mm,
just helping out a buddy that was self-publishing his own comics. and and he gave me some points for this story that he was working on. And it was, basically just monster of the week comes after the good guy, who's also a monster, but, he's a good monster. And, monster of the week comes after him. And we find out that he's sent by the guy that created both of these monsters. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, that's fine. But the more I got to thinking about it and talking with him about it, I was like, if we played up the aspect of these guys were created together and trained together and basically make them like brothers, then this becomes a story about two brothers from an abusive home with an abusive father, and one of them got out and escaped and the other one had to stay home and take it. And no matter how hard he tried to make Daddy proud, Daddy still hates him, and he's not as good as the one that got away. And so he has this real hatred and want to destroy you. And that plays to like brother relationships that I've seen in real life. And suddenly made this so much more complicated and so much more interesting. And, the more we can do that, the better. Man, that just makes all of the stories better. That's coming out pretty good, I think.
Oh yeah,
that's just gonna draw a bunch of buildings.
I love that. Yeah.
If I didn't have buildings and two characters to do, I'd probably already be done. But
man, I mean, we've only been on for 52 minutes, and you've got so much done already. It's crazy. And we might not finish all this on the show today, but we will show the finished project on the Facebook group. And some of the people who are watching, if you guys want the high res for a wallpaper or something, just hit us up. We can shoot it to you, cause we like to give stuff away.
Yeah, we do.
Here on 5-Star Fridays. So speaking of writing stories and developing comic books and that sort of thing, Fish approaches me today with an idea, and I'm like, yo, Fish, let's not do that today on the show, because I feel like we need to promote that bad boy to the fullest. And we need to deck it out and maybe have other people come on that can talk about it as well. And then we've got, man, it might be too much to fit into one show, so let's spread it out over the course of the month. So we're going to work out the details, but we believe in August we are going to do a 4-part series on writing, drawing, producing, kickstarting a comic book.
What does it take from beginning to end, start to finish, to actually make a comic book? How do you go about doing all this? Because I get questions, and I'm going to start addressing it on my TikToks and stuff as well, because I'm getting questions all the time. Well, how do I commission an artist? Would you be interested in doing this, stuff like that? And I'm like, and I understand if you haven't done this before, you don't know. So if I can help out just a little bit and share a little bit of information that I have, I'm down for that. No questions asked.
So, we're going to get a guest that we feel like can really help shed light in those areas. So for the we're going to get some good writers. We're going to get some good artists. We're going to get people who've had successful Kickstarters. A lot of them will probably be faces that's already been, on the show before.
We know a lot of people that have done a good job of that.
Yep. So, I guess we're going with August, right? I mean, August sounds like a good time to do that.
That's fine with me.
We're going to go August. We're going to do, and we're going to promote it. We're going to put out a lot of stuff to kind of promote it and really see if we can get, help a lot of people out with it. I think it'll be fun. So I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be really cool. And, and there's so much information that we can share. And, things that we've done right and things that we've screwed up, it's all fair game and all helpful. I certainly know I made some mistakes on my first Kickstarter, and I learned a lot from it. I was like, Oh yeah, surely I can run a Kickstarter and finish drawing my book at the same time. It can't be that hard. Oh no, it is one or the other for me. I cannot do both of those things at the same time. Not well, anyway.
Yeah.
And and I learned from working with Roy, having the book finished is just such a better way of going about doing it. The customers don't have to wait forever for the book to get drawn after the Kickstarter is finished. They don't forget about the project. They don't lose steam, because you lose so much energy and steam and momentum for a project when they have to wait six
Yeah.
months for a book to get drawn and penciled, and people have day jobs and stuff. And I'm not knocking that. Folks
I
have
mean,
day
yeah. I
jobs.
mean, I've been there and done that.
But when it takes a long time, they've lost the passion and interest for it. And now it's going to take you a year to do the next one. Or
Yeah.
if it took me a year to get the last Kickstarter and now you're running another one, I'm like, well, how much is that really worth to me? Because it's going to be a year before I see it. Or like with
Yeah.
Roy's Kickstarters, as soon as that money comes in, they're getting printed and shipped to you. So
Hmm.
you're going to see it quick, except for like when COVID slowed down production. But that's not every day. And
Yeah.
that is just, I learned so much from him on that I'm grateful for that. But I'm grateful for the stuff I pick up from all my buddies.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest thing in the comic book world is just learning from one another. I mean, you got to pick up stuff along the way. Um, I've learned. I mean, I feel like almost every show that we've had too. Like I learned something
Oh,
from
absolutely.
somebody that we have on here. I
Oh
mean,
man, I have picked up so much stuff from people that we have had on. Every time I pick up some little nugget, I've started writing it all down so that I can share it and as tips later on and be like, hey, you know what I picked up from so and so?
yeah.
This right here.
Hey, while we're on here, and speaking of help and people helping and people learning, me and Fish need to figure out a shared calendar setup. And I'm not too ashamed to admit that I couldn't figure it out. So, I'm sure you can. I would imagine like Google Calendar or something else like that. That's just email related, where it's linked to both of us. We could use. If somebody would be willing to reach out to me, inbox me, and let me know how I would go about that, that would be sweet. It would be greatly appreciated. Um, It'd be a little bit easier for us to have a calendar made up to where we can not only share it with our guests for they can, as a reminder for them when they're going to be on, but where we can put stuff in there and kind of know, deadlines or know who's being on the, can communicate throughout the month
Mm-hmm.
knowing who's going to be on what slot. So
It
I know
would
some
be
people are
handy.
probably like, how do you not know that? But I mean, hey, I just don't. Neither one of us know. Uh,
I've never had to do it before. I mean, I've got the one on my phone. I do not know how to import it or export it. I have tried and I have failed every time I've
right.
tried to do it. I had to
I
scrap one and start over and make a whole new calendar because I couldn't figure out how to get it from my old email onto my new phone, and that's embarrassing. But it is what it is. So I tell you
right.
what, you want tips and tricks. This is something that I picked up recently watching another artist on YouTube, but I went through and I made a whole bunch of high res images of like the side of a building
Yeah.
and did different window placements and designs on it. And so now I have all I've got to really do is draw out these boxes, and then I can pull in images that I drew in my style and
Mm,
throw them on there and bend them into shape, and boom, you've got really quick buildings. Now
nice.
I wouldn't do that for like a hero building or something, or like your main headquarters. Like some of
Right.
that
Right.
stuff
Right.
needs to be drawn out right. But for all those background buildings that you need to throw together real quick, this works real fast. And this was a dude that like worked at Pixar and stuff. He's like, this is how we do it. Just did it in
Nice.
Photoshop. And I was like, man, that is too brilliant not to use.
Right. Yeah, that's dope.
And when you're trying to make a living, anything that saves time is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very good thing.
And when you got like dudes like Tony Clapper in your inbox being like, "Yo, when can you start my
Yo,
book?"
man, when my book gonna be ready, man? When you gonna be done with this other one? Because it's 5-star time, baby. Yeah.
You
People
gotta
like that. You
people
gotta
like
be in a
that.
hurry all the time.
Those little chihuahuas that are biting at your ankles.
Mm-hmm.
That's the relationship I see with these two. Like if this was a comic book, you know what I mean?
Chihuahua in his ear.
Like you're this huge giant like just beast, and my guy's he's not really all that powerful, but like he's the bigger shit talker, trash talker.
Oh yeah.
Constantly in your ear, and you're like, dude, if I wanted to, I could just crush you with 2 fingers, like a grape. But for some reason,
I could just see Mr. 5-Star like in his hand, like, you want a piece of me, bro? You want to come at me?
What's up?
Step up, man.
Yeah, like
you feel the froggy jump. I could absolutely see him doing that, like from the palm of his hand.
Right.
Oh, that would be so
That's gold.
And that's another key little bit of writing advice there, if anybody wants it, and it's something that I do all the time when I'm writing something, is bringing in little bits of the real world, bringing in bits of your personality. Like you can write like a female character and bring in bits of your personality and make her just as interesting and just as genuine as any other character. Like everybody in Green Zone, they have such different personalities, and you've got to read it so far, what I've got.
Oh, yeah.
Like they all have such different personalities. They are all 100% me. They're just like one piece of my personality taken as far as you can in this direction. Like Virgil almost never speaks. He's big and terrifying lizard monster looking guy, and he never speaks. He's actually got a really kind heart inside. Everybody's scared of him, and they're more scared of him the more quiet he stays. That was absolutely me in high school. I bluffed and was as scary as I could be to keep people at a distance. The other characters that run their mouth all the time to keep people off guard and, try and make friends. Absolutely me, running my mouth, trying to make friends. Like it's all different aspects of me. My insecurities are this character. My boldness is this character. My I don't have time for this mess is condensed and, solidified into this character. And
yeah, I dig that. You're right, man. You can add. What up, Rodney?
What's up, Rodney?
You can add parts of yourself into every character, like you said. I dig that. Also, just how me and you did. We were. It's okay to get people that you can trust that are other creatives and have a little brainstorming session where you're kind of just about oh man, it'd be funny with these two if they had this type of relationship and they did that, and then the next person feeds off of that, and the next thing you know, you've got all these little side conversations that take place in your book, but those are important. You know what I mean?
That's the thing that I think too many books miss out on. When they're created by just one person in a room by themselves, getting created in a vacuum, is they miss out on all that interesting input from somebody else that would have said, yeah, that's cool, but what if they did this? And, you're never going to come up with the same ideas that I would come up with. You don't have the same experiences that I have that, lead me to some of the ideas that I have. And we all can benefit so greatly off of that from each other. When we're willing to let other people sit at the table and kick in their ideas too and be like, what if? Maybe we don't use that what if, but maybe that inspires me to this great idea. Maybe they come up with something that's so much better than I could have come up with alone. And, that's the thing that I don't like about the idea of working on a book like my Green Zone book by myself is I'm missing out on having other people's input and voices that might have had something way better, if we had done it together than me doing it by myself. And it's something that I've picked up working.
Yeah, but you've been showing it to people.
Oh yeah,
like I know I gave you some feedback on a part of it.
Yeah, but like not as much as if we were sitting around the table coming up with it together.
Yeah,
but a lot of people are more toning their advice down to like, well, if you moved this balloon, or if maybe you reworded this, as opposed to, if we completely scrapped this page and rewrote it, because nobody wants to say that, but it's one of the things I've enjoyed about getting to work with other people in collaborative process is when you can bounce ideas off, we can come up with something so much better than we would have come up with alone. And I love that. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm actually going to get these buildings done a whole lot quicker than I thought I was.
All right, man. It's looking dope. We're just a little over the hour mark. We don't like to take up too much people's time, too much of their time on a Friday. We know people got things going on, their Friday night shenanigans and whatnot. We had 4 people in the raffle, so I'm gonna hit the little generator here, and it's through 1 through 4, and I'm gonna hit that. So let me look real quick at the people who was in on it. Will, you're 1. William, you're 2. Donna Sun Flame, you are 3, and Andrew Duggan, you are 4. Generate, and it goes through the numbers real quickly. And 3. I don't know if you guys can see that. See how it does that there? Can you see that, Fish? I'm holding it up.
Yep, I see it. I do see it.
Boom. So, you know what I was just thinking? I could have done that on my other screen and just shared the screen. So we can start doing that, actually.
Yeah, we could.
I can share. So that's Donna Son Flame. You are the winner of today, bro. So we'll get you that stuff. I can link up with you, send you an inbox, and get your email.
And we'll get with you, figure out what character you want me to draw for you. Or, like I said, it could be a picture of you or whatever you want.
And I'm glad you said that, Andrew, because now thinking about it, I know you said Moana does it a certain way. I didn't even think about sharing the screen and doing it. That's probably how she does it. She probably is not doing it on actual StreamYard. She's probably sharing the screen on one of the generators. That would make more sense. So maybe we can start doing that. If you guys comment on each video, maybe we can take those comments
and pick somebody that's actually there watching the show.
Yeah, and generate. Put them in the generator. Show the generator on the shared screen.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds fun. That sounds like a good. That sounds.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that sounds like something we could do. I dig that. We'll still do something for people who are sharing content, though. We can make that a separate thing. We'll figure it out. We're figuring out stuff as we go.
We definitely want to encourage people to share.
But yeah. So we're figuring it out as we go. Trying to find another idea that we thought about doing was doing a segment where we create a character live. Me and Fish. Mm-hmm. We do a random generator. That gives us the generator gives us the powers, right, Fish?
Yeah. Or, we could let people come on and comment and come up with something really kooky.
We could do comment a power and pick the first 3 and have to work off of that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
I got no problems coming up with something creative by the seat of my pants. Like, that's my comfort zone. That's where I live. So, and
that would be sweet. So, and then we can get feedback from people and see. Yeah, I like that idea. Would be fun to do too. So maybe we can start doing that. Next month, we're gonna do the 4-part series on creating a comic from the writing process, art, publishing, Kickstarter, all that. So you guys are gonna want to tune in for August. But
Finding an artist, all that stuff.
next week, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Spoiler, Team Spoiler himself, Ace Blade, Danny
Out
J.
there
Quick,
killing it with his Kickstarter.
out there killing it with his Kickstarter, will be on next week to talk everything Ace Blade, and he was also a winner before of art by Fish Lee. So we'll have him live. Fish Lee will be doing the art live, and we'll knock the art out and promote the Kickstarter and talk everything Ace Blade next week. I think that's all we got for him.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward. I wonder what character he's going to pick. That's just what I'm wondering.
I know. I'm wondering if it's going to be Ace Blade or if it's going to be, one of his villains. It could be because it is villain season. He's got like 4 or 5 different villains.
That's true. That's
that are
true.
Be
I
in
didn't
the book,
think about that.
Maybe he'll want to do one for one of them. You never know. Fish, you got anything else for him, buddy?
No, man. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys chiming in. What do you think of the drawing so far? We're going to have to get this wrapped up and finished up so we got something awesome to put in the background. And I'm thinking like some searchlights coming up and stuff, like, really make it action-packed. But I think that's pretty cool. Mr. FiveStar and the mountainous Mr. Fish. Oh, I forgot. I'm still in reverse, too. I do that all the time.
I was wondering, actually. I was thinking in my mind, like, it doesn't look bad the other way, too. That's why I do it, because we make little mistakes and things get a little slanted and little eyes are off. And that part of our brain that, like, sees shapes in clouds and sees a face and fried eggs and bacon on a plate, it will say, this is a face, and it'll overlook those problems. But when you flip it, those problems suddenly get multiplied. Right.
So I'll flip it, ink it in reverse, flip it back, change stuff just to try and cut all that out. It's made my work a lot cleaner, a lot more accurate since I started doing it.
All right, guys. Remember to stay positive. Continue to be the best you. Keep growing. Keep grinding. Keep creating. And we will catch you guys next Friday with Danny J. Quick. And peace out. Love you guys.
See y'all.